why don't we start with you, Dorcas? So just, how long have you been here? How long do you plan to stay? And what are your first impressions?
Okay. Yeah. So for me, Dorcas Akintola, I happened to come into Netherlands. I think this is my 6 weeks in the Netherlands, and I intend to stay indefinitely because he's a long aspired wish. Yeah, so he's a long aspired wish from Africa, and now that the reality of my desire came true, and I'm actually enjoying it. So that's just a brief note.
Great. Sudeep, would you like to go next, please?
Yeah, thanks, Martha. It's been a little more than a month. I arrived in Netherlands. I'm from India, and I did come to Netherlands previously, but in regards to relocation, this is obviously the first time. And it was in a situation which we all understand, these pandemic times. So there were a lot of apprehensions with obviously getting the entire visa processed from the embassy back home in India. So there were a lot of challenges from the external perspective, the external situation perspective, but I would think everything went on so well that I have adapted to the Netherlands just like fish to the water.
Marcus, would you like to go next, please?
Yeah, sure. So this is Markus Kumme. I'm from Germany. I reallocated with Settle Service, or it's my second reallocation. And I moved in March. It was probably the most difficult timing in the middle of, or shortly before lockdown. So I'm now here 6 months, but I think moving is always a difficult time, but I think got great support from Settle Service, and even with the lockdown, it was very well managed and really big support. So yeah, I think the tools that are available, also like how you're guided and managed, is really nice. You don't need to care too much about things yourself, and yeah, it was a really good experience and much better than my first reallocation. Yeah, so we're 6 months now here. I'm actually on an assignment, so it should have been for 1 year. I hope it will be extended, but even if it won't, I have the feeling, so my wife and I, and our baby as well, we get very comfortable in here, and it will be difficult to leave. So we're going to see what we will do in the future, but the desire is to stay definitely longer.
And Alexander?
Well, I'm Alex. I'm originally from Greece. I'm half French, half Greek, but my family and myself, we were living in Greece. I've moved permanently, let's say, to the Netherlands. Now it's been, we're close to the second month. So we're finishing the second month. We're here from beginning of August.
If I may move forward in saying that, your information, your knowledge sharing and information portal is one of the best tools which has helped me a lot.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, because obviously in this internet connected world, what you need about any other place is the knowledge and the information. So I think that information is available smoothly and easily accessible. I think it makes your life very easy. I think that's the biggest matter of gratitude and thankful for Settle to have a website like Settle Services with a login portal where I could just log in, get to know about, it could be anything, 30% ruling, it could be settling down, accommodation, things to do in your leisure time. I mean, it can go on and on. Everything is available. I don't have to hunt in different places, do a Google search. I don't have to.
I think everything has been very difficult, and without the help of Settle Services, I cannot imagine how this thing in these difficult times would have happened, especially because we chose a house remotely. We never saw the house actually before moving in. I think that I was here a week in July, so I got the opportunity to see the house, but we had already signed, because we didn't want to lose the opportunity. So, but it was not shocking. I think that the work that have been done, the discussions, the preliminary discussions, everything that had happened were actually excellent. And obviously now we've moved here. We like the house. My family, I have a small daughter who is 7, and my wife are really settled here.
Yeah. So from me, I will actually and strongly recommend a settle service for any person trying to move into the Netherlands. My experience was so excellent with the help, support. I might even drop this also in terms of schooling. I told you I have 4 kids. One of them, I have a challenged son. So while the other 3 went to international school, he needs to have his own school. Settle service helped me to identify the school for him. And the school I didn't visit, it was their choice I worked with. And on getting to the school the first day when we came, I was excited because it met what I'm looking for. Secondly, a challenge came on transport, how to get him to school. We were introduced to by Settle Service some advice that the government can handle his transportation and things like that. And so today I have less stress on me. They pick him up at home, they drop him back at home. So these are all informations I wouldn't have known if they didn't help me out.
Actually, I had the chance to see the houses before. I think it was managed quite efficiently. So in the beginning, I gave like my preferences, like how the house should look like, and then Settle Service started searching for it. My wife was also very active on looking on the local Dutch housing markets, and she was giving some ideas, and Settle Service set up the appointments for this. And the day I came over was actually very efficient. We had one day I saw 7 houses. I had a really good agent with me, and the nice thing is also when they visit with you the house, they have much more experience, and she could tell me, okay, some things were not that obvious. So for example, in one house, I really liked it, but they built in a shower and you could actually see that was not done professionally, and they just painted the roof or the wall over the shower because you could figure out they have problems with moisture and so on. So there are some advice like yours, if you don't do that the whole time, you wouldn't know it. And in the end, from one of these houses, she made like really good advertisement for that area here in The Hague. And now that we live here 6 months, we really value her advice because we have seen now the other areas, and we know this area of The Hague is really perfect for us. We don't want to move.
Well, I think personally, I think that pretty much we were informed of everything, and there is no. I cannot say personally I didn't find any big surprises in front of me. I mean, okay, I had spent 1 month already here in February, but then when we started working together with Settle Services, I think the answers were all there. The portal was really helpful. Actually, one thing which I actually loved and I have great gratitude is that actually I did absolutely nothing apart from signing papers and I mean, all the info was there. The girls were always there to give their best phone calls, emails, and I was abroad, so I couldn't have also a feel of the situation.
I'm curious for any of you that feel like answering, what was the one thing you wish someone had told you in advance before you got here? Is there anything that jumps to mind?
Add one thing here. I definitely would like you to consider some orientation with the Dutch language, because especially if I go to a supermarket, I see the products which are only in Dutch. So that was a bit of a challenge initially to identify what is what. For me, definitely milk is melke, but I got really the wrong buy when I got something like carne melke, which is actually buttermilk, thinking it's a milk. And there's a difference between boiling a buttermilk and boiling a milk. So I actually ended up boiling carne milke, and it obviously went absolute. So I think that's just an example. And if you could just probably get some orientation on basic Dutch words, and that could be helpful, probably.
I'm curious, what is now that you've been here a little while and you know how things work, what's your biggest challenge still? What do you find difficult here?
I think not really a challenge, but it's still more of how to get my license converted to the Dutch one, because I'm told if you miss the first 6 months, that you'll be in a big challenge. You have to go all the way around to now do a driving test, which is costly and takes time. So now I'm very inquisitive. What next before my 6 months lapse? I need to convert my license. So I think that's the major thing now.
We'll help you with that.
Same with me. I mean, if that information can be shared about the licensing conversion, because I believe as expats we have the advantage of getting Netherlands a Dutch license very easily. So if that can be shared, that information can be shared, I think that will be the feather on the cap. Otherwise, everything was absolutely smooth. So I would say always settle in Netherlands with settled services.